Hello again, Brampton Board of Trade, members and friends. I'm Daniel Lewis, founder of Tea by Daniel and certified tea master. And we are here once again for another installment of the BEA Fun Facts. This year's theme is a particularly relatable one. We're talking pivots. Yes, that word, pivots. And no, we're not talking about the basketball pivots. Neither are we talking about the Excel pivot tables. We're talking about the many ways that the Brampton Board of Trade members have stopped and changed directions in order to stay afloat during COVID-19. We all know and we've all been impacted by COVID-19 and seen the ways that it has reaped havoc on businesses both large and small. We all know businesses who have faced this harsh reality that COVID-19 has presented, and we commend those businesses for adapting to the changes that COVID-19 has presented in order for short-term survival, but also for long-term resilience and growth. Today, we would like to share some of the incredible stories of how some Brampton businesses have decided to make that pivot to save their business. You may as well relate to some of these stories, and if not, we hope that this is to you inspiration and motivation to keep going. So let's kick it off. Actually, one second, just before we get started, how about I take a quick little bite of this freshly made pastry. On a second thought, I'm gonna get back to this when I can sit down and enjoy this fresh baked pastry. Woo! So sorry about that. I literally got carried away with this beautiful pastry, but it's very fitting because pivot number one is the market pivot inspired by Queen Gypsy. I like to call this pivot, have a big think about what your customers might need at this moment in time pivot. Or you can also call this one, provide distraction through fresh pastries. We all know dining in restaurants has been a big no-no for the majority of last year, which has created a massive burden on Brampton's restaurants. Enter the pivot. In addition to offering takeout, the owner of Queen Gypsy, Vera, was inspired to create a festive weekend market, which was open for contactless shopping every Saturday morning. Vera's market turned into an artisan grocery store featuring Queen Gypsy menu items such as hot soups, hot sauces, freshly baked breads, buns, pastries. I'm drooling. This pivot allowed Queen Gypsy to help bridge the gap in lost revenue, provide new offerings to her menu that otherwise wouldn't have been considered, and well, make new friends and customers as well. That, my friends, is a pivot. Pivot number two, the experience pivot by the Scented Lair. This can also be defined as giving Bramptonians an event to look forward to other than baking sourdough bread and binging on Netflix. I think we can all agree that the 3 lockdowns, or is it 4? Bramptonians have endured have been, well, brutal. Let's be honest. We're starved for entertainment. We're dying to get out and have some fun, right? Well, enter Tracy Pepe, who had an idea. Actually, a couple of good ones. Tracy planned to launch a second location at Pearson International Airport in Terminal 3, an exciting expansion. But COVID hit a couple weeks later, and with airports closed, we all know what happened. Fast forward to last fall, when businesses could reopen, with Starbucks closed across the street from her boutique, Tracy was inspired to use the available space and create an interactive experience she called Smells from a Tea Bar. So fitting. Word began to spread that the Scented Lair was offering a smell and taste experience from teas and, of course, essential oils. And coming soon is the Smelling Pink Festival, an interactive virtual festival featuring Brampton's cherry blossoms, a custom scent, and local Brampton businesses. Not only creative, but clever. Only in downtown Brampton can you find a tea and scent bar and a virtual smelling festival. Pivot number 3, the Combine Forces Pivot by Scotia Events Inc. Also understood as don't follow the trend. Since 2002, Scotia Events have been supporting live events through audio, visual, corporate conferences, weddings, pretty much anything and everything. COVID-19 arrives in Brampton, and the entire event industry as we know it was decimated. And so, the founder of Scotia Events, Terry Holdershaw, quickly helped move clients online to Zoom, and just like that, we're all on Zoom. That was the mini pivot. The major pivot was when Terry realized he didn't just need another online space for meetings, but rather he needed an actual studio where presenters could host and record in a more professional environment rather than their living room. Light bulb moment. Terry partnered up with EJ Entertainment and created EJSE Studio, complete with lighting, audio, cameras, backdrops, and of course, social distancing abilities to ensure everyone's safety. Terry can now offer a hybrid model for events and has been able to invest in technology offerings that will suit the events industry moving forward. He'll be ready to service live in-person events whenever things are ready to come back. We believe that virtual events and meetings will be around for quite a while, even after in-person events start to open up again. And Terry, we cannot wait to have those in-person events with you. We will meet you on the dance floor as soon as we can.